Quick shop tip. Oh no, just broke my my hinge. Not sure what we're going to do to fix it. Well, of course we do. We're going to glue it back on. So I've been asked a couple times to show how you fix these broken foam hinges. So stick around. We're going to glue it back together. It's a simple process. Won't take much time at all. All right, I'm going to try welders. There's a lot of different contact glues out there, cements. This one works pretty well. And one of the things I really like about it is as soon as it's kind of set, as far as, you got to wait a little bit longer before you lock things in place, meaning I'm going to basically put the dab along this side of the hinge. I'm going to put the pieces together and then start down here closest to me and then make sure I'm in the right spot on that hinge. Okay, I'm going to move it back and forth a little bit, and then I'm pulling it apart. And I'm going to wait a little bit. All right, it's been 5 minutes, and I'm going to put this back right on. Make sure you're lining up everything properly. Make sure everything is lined up well. Push it in pretty good, and I work the hinge a little bit. 5 minutes, very tacky. Welders is the nice thing about welders. It gets tacky really quickly. 5 minutes, it locks in. And there's not a whole lot of. Let me make sure you can see this. There we go. All even on that side. That side, everything looks good. I'll work this hinge a little bit. Come back and probably do another few minutes. If you put on too much, don't put on too much, of course, but if something does come, get too much on there, clean off this little section right here. I'd put it on pretty sparingly, and you don't need much. You just need a very thin line across there, and now we're going to let that set up for a little bit longer. Okay, I'm going to go through the same process with another adhesive, foam tack, which is a pretty popular one. And so we're just going to push this all the way down and peel that off. This was a factory hinge. I haven't done anything fancy to it as far as, I haven't re-glued this on before or anything. Just want to make sure that we can match up pretty well, which we do. After I broke it, it's kind of a little puzzle. So now we're going to take some foam tack and do the same thing. We're going to here and just foam tack doesn't flow as well as some of these other adhesives. It strings up real fast. So welders, foam to foam, Yoo-hoo pour, they're a little bit more watery. This one's a little bit more stringy and gummy, but foam tack works exceptionally well. All right, just a thin amount of foam tack, and I'm going to place this where I think it's supposed to attach, move it a little bit, and pull apart a couple times, pull apart. Now with foam tack, we don't have to wait 5 minutes. We're going to wait about a minute, and then I'm going to put it back together. As you can see, it's all stringy, and we'll just wait here a minute. All right, it's been close to a minute. We're going to push it back together, making sure we have everything lined up, and it will allow you to move it a little. And now we're going to move that hinge back and forth a little bit. Make sure there aren't any gaps, along there as you're moving it. You don't want any gaps, so push it. I'm pushing it onto the into that place and moving it a little bit. Also going to look on the flip side to make sure it's pretty much lined up to where it needs to be. Let it set. Every once in a while, flip it back and forth. Here's the one we did with welders. Again, I'm going to flip this back and forth. Welders will be a little yellow, whereas foam tack is clear and dries clear. Both of them will work well. Foam tack works with EPS, styrene, EPO, EPP, whereas welders will melt EPS, like your UMX planes. Don't advise using welders on EPS planes. It'll eat a hole through them. So there we go. I'll keep working this for a while, come back every 10 minutes or so and just work those hinges, and that pretty much takes care of it, both with foam tack and welders.